Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pacers Daily. I am your host, Hery Acosta. Happy Friday, everybody. Pacers don't play today, but, last episode for the week before I start back up on Monday. Like and subscribe for more of this content. I appreciate all the support on this channel. Just keep on growing. But let's go straight into it and talk about a move that the Pacers just recently made. They released Mac McClung. He was averaging 6.3 points per game and 1.7 rebounds a game. Obviously nothing crazy, but that's all in just 11 minutes, and you only get the guy to play 3 games. But he's been released, and I'm not 100% sure what direction we're trying to go here, just because we keep signing, releasing players, and we're just trying something different pretty much each game. Mac McClung did not play against Brooklyn. After that game, I had a feeling that they were thinking about doing something, just because we probably could have used him in the Brooklyn game, because he hasn't been bad. He also averaged almost 2 steals a game. But what can I say? I'm not an NBA GM. But this is actually the most Mac McClung has played for an NBA team. He's played 3 games for us, while his recent high was 2 for Philly and 2 for Orlando. But 5 teams in a few seasons, and he's really just been a G League star. I hope he gets a shot, like a genuine shot with a team. I thought he was going to get it here, but we ended up just needing him for a few games, and now we're going to go a different direction with a guy who's a little bit older but has more experience, and Monte Morris. Now, I don't 100% agree with this exact signing, just because. Now, I like Monte Morris, don't get me wrong. I've always thought he was a decent player. But I kind of wanted the youth of Mac McClung and just the explosiveness and just someone who can play on all levels of the court. But, Monte Morris can do all that. He's just a little bit more seasoned and, been in the league for a decently long time now, and has played in the playoffs, has done what he needs to do. He's been decent, but it's just not. I genuinely am not a big fan of this signing, just because I thought we could have just kept McClung and just paid him a little bit, but instead here we are with Monte Morris. Now, we had signed him on our training camp roster, but a calf injury, he was automatically released after that. Now he actually comes back, taking him over, still a lot of other free agent point guards out there. But, here we go. We're with Monte Morris. We'll see how he does. I'm hoping that I can say something different next video, because I want him to succeed. I want anyone that steps in Indy, I want them to succeed. I want Monte Morris to be a genuinely really good bench player for us. Now, do I personally at the moment see that that's going to be the case? Not exactly, but I am going to hope for the best, because I do respect Monte Morris as a player, so I want him to go out there and play his game. But I'm still going to, until I really see what Monte Morris could do in a Pacers uniform, I'm not going to agree with the decision to waive Mac McClung. And this genuinely has nothing to do with Monte Morris. I just don't understand why we didn't give McClung more of a chance, especially in that game against Brooklyn where he could have done something. We really shouldn't have. As a team with currently 9 players active right now, we shouldn't be leaving anyone off the court at all. We need as many people as we can get. Okay, but now let's talk a little bit about the future. I was reading some comments from the last video I made yesterday, and J Huff did have a really good game against Brooklyn. He looked automatic from 3-point. Those reverse dunks are just so fun to watch every time he does them. But honestly, a lottery pick will be very nice, especially when we get everyone back next season. But the reason that I'm not 100% sure about what exactly we should do this year is just because I don't want Siakam to start getting unhappy with how we're playing and want to demand a trade. As soon as Toronto stopped winning, he wanted out. And he got out, and now he's here. He's at a team that's been to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals appearance, almost won. and now we're 1-7 after 8 games. And one of those games was against Brooklyn, who had not won a game up to then. They were the last team to win a game, and it was against us. So we're literally on par with the Brooklyn Nets right now, and it's just sad to see that drop just because of how many injuries we have, the wild rotations that we're dealing with, maybe a little bit of refs going against us, but that's another thing. But the future's bright. There's always going to be something to take out of everything. Whether Monte Morris sticks around or not, that's going to determine a lot for the future. Players like McConnell, Nemhard, everyone being under contract for a couple of years. Matherin should be getting that extension. I know he got hurt, but he was showing that he deserved that extension in those first 2 games that he played. Hoping he's back tomorrow. But, future could be bright. But now, last but not least, how do we defend Nikola Jokic? The answer is we don't. Like I said with Giannis, like I've said with a lot of other players, the best way to defend star players is to defend the players around them. Because especially Jokic, if he gets less than 10 assists, or, let's go down. When he gets less than 5 assists, his team is not going to win. If Jokic is opening the game up like a point guard, the Denver is going to win that game. So if Jokic drops a triple-double, we're going to lose. If Jokic even has a double-double with assists, we're going to lose. If Jokic has 5 or more assists, there's still a good possibility that we're going to lose. We need to just basically cut off Jamal Murray, cut off Aaron Gordon, cut off Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, anyone that's playing. Cut them off. Make Jokic do everything by himself. Said the same thing with Shea. I said the same thing with Giannis. Now, obviously, Shea has a really good team around him, so it's a little harder. And Giannis has a decent team around him. But honestly, Denver is a better team than Milwaukee is. So with Denver, you definitely have to really just cut the game out from around him. Because, this guy averages a triple-double. This guy's insane. He is the best player in the world. And I hate to say it, but, just because he's so fundamentally sound. Now, it's funny because one of my favorite players all time is Tim Duncan. And Tim Duncan wasn't flashy. Wasn't really, insane to watch or anything. But he was so good at what he did. And he just played the game with such pizzazz and just, if he was shooting that ball, it was going in. And just no one could guard him. Not fully comparing Jokic to him because Jokic is a lot different player than Duncan was. And Jokic has the MVPs and he has the triple-doubles. He doesn't fully have the team success that Tim Duncan had. But Jokic is kind of one of those players that plays with so much fundamentals that people don't like his game. But it genuinely is, very beautiful to watch just because his shooting form is a little weird, but it goes in. His passing is amazing. He can rebound from wherever pretty much. So it's just cut the game off around them is the best shot we have because honestly we don't look like we could even win that game. But I'm hoping that we do because I genuinely want an episode where I can just talk about how good our team is doing. And I know it hasn't been easy yet. But as always, I'm your host, Hery Acosta. This is Pacers Daily. Boom, baby. Go, Sirs.